The 92nd General Assembly convened this week as legislators were sworn in, and Governor Asa Hutchinson took the oath of office for his second four-year term as governor. One of those members that was sworn into may be in opposition to the governor on occasion, maybe with him on some occasions as well. Representative Charles Blake, Democrat of Little Rock, is the House Minority Leader. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on getting everything kicked off there. I always equate the start of the legislative session as like that first day of school after summer vacation. Everybody comes back. The first week, we're all excited to see each other.
Trying to learn where the bathrooms are.
Exactly. And
find
get
your locker.
Picture taken and organize on some things. And then the work really gets going kind of after that.
Definitely.
Let's begin first, though, with the federal government shutdown. I had Senator Cotton on earlier. There seems to be no end in sight. What are your constituents telling you? What are they feeling? What's happening in your district?
Fear, concern. This is beyond theoretical. These are actual Americans, actual Arkansans who are suffering. You got 800,000 people without jobs. You have 300,000 people who are on the SNAP program who are worried about their next meal. You got people who want border security and a working system, but at the same time, you have farmers who are worried about loan processing. You got domestic violence shelters who are closing their doors. So this is affecting people on a bigger scale, and they just want Congress to get to work, and that's something that we're looking forward to doing. And the state legislator is working together for Arkansans. So that's the feel.
You don't see that kind of combativeness that we see at the federal level with at the state level. So
no, you see combativeness, but we have Arkansans on top of the mind all the time, and what you have now is you have a president and his party who had control for the last 2 years, and if this was a priority, they could have gotten something done but now we're sending people to work and not paying them. I don't know what you call that, but
it's not going to last long. I can tell you that's what you call it, because at some point somebody's going to go look for another job that's going to pay them, and that's going to be the end result there. Well, we'll see where this goes. Let's shift back to the state capitol here. The Democrats outlined some of their legislative priorities for this coming legislative session. The earned income tax credit was one of the things that you guys highlighted the most. This is going to be in complete contradiction to the governor's 2, 4, 5.9% plan.
Yes, it is.
This was debated, the EITC was, in the task force meeting there. You don't have the votes to change minds on this. How are you going to succeed?
We win because the people of Arkansas want this. This was a debate we've been had. It's not going anywhere. This is a debate we've had the last 2 sessions. Representative Warwick Saban brought it up last year with Republican co-sponsors. So it's one of those things where when you show people the contrast of the earned income tax credit, putting more money in working families' pockets, which then puts more money into local economies compared to giving the top 2% a tax cut, I think people are going to see which plan works best, which plans they're more interested in. So it's one of those things where we have to have, yes, it was up in the tax policy, but that wasn't debated by the whole body.
Right.
It was 10, 15 members on that committee, and Arkansans want to see the plans that mostly directly affect them the most.
You still don't have a majority of D votes there. The governor has an R after his name.
We represent people.
And he was also elected by 65%. He has what is called a mandate.
That is true, but all of us represent 30,000 people in the House and 90,000 people in the Senate. If people see these plans side by side and see the contrast, what we're asking for is to people be engaged. It is democracy. It is a process. And if people start calling their representatives, people start calling their senators and saying, hey, let's take a look at the earned income tax credit. Let's really take a look at benefiting working families. I think people will start listening.
All right. Let's move to another priority that you guys outlined was pre-K funding. Where do we stand with that right now? What's been recommended?
Well, over the last couple sessions, Representative Clark Tucker, I keep saying my former colleagues. I miss you guys. But Representative Clark Tucker has been adamant about finding funding for pre-K, and he's working with us. He's going to be around, but finding that funding, visiting with the governor, visiting with our Republican colleagues to say if pre-K is a priority, just like raising teacher salaries, then this is something that we can both well together. We have to care about these 3 and 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
We have to increase our educational system, and that starts early.
What is the number that you feel like is doable?
I guess we've increased about $3 million over the last couple of years. We're looking for another increase of that amount, $3 to $4 million that will go. It's gradual. We understand.
I'm not going to say that $3 million is not a lot of money, because it is to me. I know it is to you, but in state government funding, that's couch cushion money, to be honest with you. So do you think that the political sentiment is there? Is the governor giving you his word that he'll try to help you find that?
He hasn't yet, but we're still working on them. You know, we have a 65-day session. I'm going to be visiting with the governor's office as well as our caucus. This is a priority of ours.
Where does the caucus stand on Arkansas Works? You guys going to vote to re-up it?
Arkansas Works we need to relook at Arkansas Works. When you're kicking off 18,000 people for you basically not registering for a work requirement, not going in and inputting into the computer system. I mean, we're talking about 18,000 people, and we don't have broadband from border to border yet. There are people who don't even know they're supposed to be registering a work requirement. We have people who are working who are being kicked off because they're just not going online. So it's a broken system, and that's something that we have to reevaluate, and that's a conversation we're looking forward to having.
There are some people too, it would seem from our reporting, that we don't even know who these people are or where they are. There is a pretty sizable contingency that just can't be found.
Yeah.
They should be off the roll, shouldn't they?
Yes. If they can't be found, if we don't know who they are, then we have to be good stewards about our money. But what we should not be doing is kicking off people who don't know they're supposed to be doing something.
How do you quantify that group? How do you know who that group is? Is there a way, is the data that the DHS is collecting on this, does it allow you to identify who those people are?
What we've been saying is that the data is fragmented. There is a disconnect. And if we don't know who those people are, then we need to take a better look at our system. And that's what we're concerned about as a caucus, is making sure we're doing the right thing, and we're not negatively affecting people who are doing the right thing.
Let's move to a final topic here. Another one of your former colleagues, former Representative Bob Ballinger. He's in the Senate now.
Yes, he is.
So he's not really gone, but he's
times.
just in a different chamber there. He wants to make some modifications to the minimum wage.
Yes, he does.
Initiated act that was just passed in November, basically to carve out some exemptions for younger workers and for certain businesses, and particularly for businesses under 50, which I will tell you is a lot of businesses
in Arkansas. It's the majority of businesses in the state of Arkansas, absolutely.
How are you, is there any compromise you think should be done on the minimum wage proposal that might accommodate some concerns, or should it be left untouched?
No compromises. The people have voted on it. 68% of the people of Arkansans said, yes, let's raise the minimum wage. Let's do it gradually over the next 4 years to raise the minimum income. Helps us raise the median income. So this is something that I don't know why we're having this discussion. Even in Bob's counties, all his counties that he represents, over 65% of the people have voted for it. So I think we're sitting here to listen to our constituents, not to tell them what's best for them. We sent this to the vote of the people. It was a reason why we sent it to the vote of the people, and the people have spoken.
No compromise. Is that a caucus position, or is that your position?
That's a Charles Blake position,
Okay.
but I'm sure that the majority of my caucus absolutely believes that the people have spoken.
There has to be a 2/3 vote of the legislature to change an initiated act approved by voters. So
Yes.
there is that at least high threshold there. It can't be a majority vote. Do you think that the votes are there to block that today, if you count the Democratic caucus and some contingency of Republicans? Do you
Absolutely.
think that you think it's there?
Absolutely.
You know that for a fact?
I know that when our representatives look at what the people have spoken and said, that they don't want to touch this.
I'm going to turn a reporter up there and do some vote counting.
Come on.
Next week. All right. Representative Charles Blake.
I used to be whipped. I can count
You
the
know,
votes.
all right. He's the House Minority Leader. We look forward to talking to you throughout the session.
No
Thank
problem.
you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We are back after this word from our sponsors with our Executive Roundtable. What do 3 of the state's business leaders offer for their take on 2019's prospects for the economy? Entergy Arkansas CEO Laura Landro, State Chamber Chief Randy Zook, and UA Walton College economist Mervyn Jebaraj are with me right after this.